Us Scots, we've had our ups and downs when it comes to football, mostly down, but here are the top 5 upsets from Scottish football history. This will include Champions League games, Europa League games and SPFL games. In at number 5, so we kick things off with quite a recent event. Rangers vs Hibs in the Scottish Cup final. Rangers beat Celtic in penalties to go on to face Hibs in the final at Hampden Park. Everyone thought that Rangers were going to win. After all, Hibs hadn't won the cup since 1902. But to all our shocks, Anthony Stokes scored an opener very early on in the game. But then Rangers strike back as Kenny Miller scored to make the game 1-1. Later on in the match, Andy Halliday scored to make Rangers 2-1 up. It looked like Rangers had it in the bag. All they had to do was sit tight and defend. But Hibernian wasn't finished. Anthony Stokes scored again late on in the match to make it 2-2. Looked like the game was going to penalties. Just as it looked like it was going to penalties, the skipper for the Hibernian team, David Gray, managed to score a goal in 90 plus minutes. This means that Anthony Stokes and the skipper David Gray managed to beat the streak of Hibernian not winning the cup since 1902. You can imagine the delight of the fans as Hibernian finally win the cup since 1902 against one of the biggest teams in Scotland, the Glasgow Rangers. In fact, the Hibernian fans were so delighted they had a massive pitch invasion and decided to wreck the place. Well done, boys, well done. And coming in at number 4, we have Celtic vs Barcelona in the Champions League. To the shock of the world, Victor Wanyama manages to score and make it 1-0 to Celtic. Barcelona were all over Celtic, but Celtic's defence was too good and Barcelona couldn't get that goal in, making it 1-0 Celtic at half time. Celtic keep the defence up in the second half, and then they make substitution for Tony Watt. Tony Watt comes on and scores, making the unthinkable a reality. Glasgow Celtic beating the mighty Barcelona 2-0 at Parkhead. Messi bags himself a goal in the 90 plus minute, but it's too late, the damage is done and Celtic have won. I'm sure it's a day that Celtic fans will never forget. Going off record for a minute, what the fuck, Messi? What the fuck? Coming in at number 3, Rangers vs Celtic, the Scottish Cup semi-final. This had been the second time that these two clubs have met since Rangers went into administration. The last time Celtic and Rangers met, Celtic thrashed Rangers. So this was a big game for Rangers to show all their fans what they've been fighting for since administration. Not only that, but if you know the history between these two clubs, you know it's a massive game. Very early on in the game, Rangers take the lead with Kenny Miller scoring in the 16th minute. Celtic dominated most possession of the game and tried everything just to score a goal. Well, I say everything. The fuck, Roberts? Really? A fucking donkey could have scored that. Celtic keep trying and trying and trying. In the 50th minute, they finally get a goal. But then, out of nowhere, Barry Mackay takes an unbelievable shot. Flies past the keeper and ends up in the back of the net. Rangers take the lead for the second time. Celtic do score in stoppage time, bringing the game to penalties. Penalties end 5-4 and Rangers have won. For the first time in a very long time, Rangers have beaten Celtic. And proven to everyone who doubted them that Rangers are still one of the biggest clubs in Scotland today. I mean, of course Rangers are still the same club. Coming in at number 2, Celtic vs Inter Milan 1967 European Cup final. Back in 1967, Celtic had a very good team. They dominated Scottish football. They really started to shine in the European Cup and got to the final. In the final, they were drawn against Inter Milan, who was one of the most fierce competitors in all the world at the time. Celtic went on and beat Inter Milan 2-1, making them the first British team in all of history to win the European Cup. And since then, Celtic have been really good in the European Cup scene. And finally, our number 1 pick, Dundee United vs Barcelona in 1987. Dundee United drew against the Spanish side in a European Cup tie. Barcelona being one of the best in the world and Dundee United being a little team from Scotland. There was no doubt that Barcelona were going to beat Dundee United. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Dundee United beat Barcelona home and away, and are still the only team in Britain to do this to this day. But of course, United didn't go on to win the cup. I mean, come on, you're not exactly the Dons now, are you? Well, that's the end of the video, so please like, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you for watching.